Hi, this is Kevin Sharp. I'm here with writer artist Nick Pitarra of Axe Wielder John to discuss a page from The Authority.
Hey, Kevin, thanks for having me on, and I'm happy to yap with you about this page. Issue 14, page 11 of The Authority. In this page, it's kind of the quintessential moment that hooked me into comics. For me, it's got the art, but even bigger for me is the nostalgia. And before I get to the page, I'll tell you how I came upon The Authority. I was 17 years old, and I wasn't drawing at the time. I had enough credits to graduate high school, so I stopped going to class and I got moved into some lower level classes. In that class, I met a guy, and when I got moved down, that was going to the Hubert School. And for the first time, I realized you could possibly draw for a career. Up to that point, I wasn't drawing. I was playing football and had a Camaro and a bunch of other stuff, you know. And so this guy, his name's Isaac. He's my best friend today. He takes me to the comic book shop. He's drawing. I get interested in it. He loves the Kubert boys, Adam and Andy, and when I looked at their work, when I went to go read a comic book for the first time, other than being enthralled that my friend Isaac could draw out of his head and thought that was amazing, I would see these like gradually parallel separating lines, cross hatching, and I would see a lot of romanticized art in that Jim Lee way, where Jim Lee, when Batman's mad, it'll be that Captain Morgan pose. He puts his leg up and it looks beautiful, and you'll be mad, but it looked so perfect it didn't feel like things were happening. I wasn't absorbing the sequential story. So he takes me to the shop and he shows me the stuff he likes, and I come across The Authority. And The Authority had all this. The Authority at the time was this hyper violent book, and I was 17, and I didn't know superheroes could kill people, and I didn't know that. I didn't even know what this art style was. This Mobius, Jeff Darrow, Frank Quietly is the artist on this, and something about the lumpiness felt so honest. The movements felt so honest, and when I saw the content of the book, I was like, superheroes can kill each other. Batman and Superman are gay. Like, what is this? This is incredible. And I know that an experienced reader will just see a derivative of other, dystopian superhero stuff. But for me, it was like, this is it. I didn't know comic books could do this. So at the time, like The Authority was getting hot, and so the back issues were kind of hot. And I had found one cover that I liked. It was Jack Hawksmoor, and it was like all Authority was dead. And I picked it up, and I didn't know what was going on. So I was like, I'm going to go look up the rest of it. And I went and hunted them down, going to comic shops all over Houston. And I had the first time I had to hunt too. I need to get this thing. And I would pick one up and I would find it for sticker price, but I would look at the Wizard and they were winning awards and it was $30. Whatever that means. Printed numbers. And so this particular page like says everything. It's like the culmination of the characters, of the violence, of my love of this hooked me to be an artist and want to draw. And in this particular page, panel one, Titan, he's had his legs blown off, which is awesome already. The Authorities show up, and I was so new to comics at the time, I didn't realize that this was the JLA versus, which made it even cooler. Like 6 months later, when I figured it out, this is the JLA versus the Avengers, but done like super. So I was like, I read in a review later. I was like, what? What? Like, that's Giant Man. This is this guy. I had no idea. Clearly it's Iron Man and Captain America. So anyway, this particular one it just says it all about the Authority, right? Can you smell alcohol off these clowns? What kind of super people show up for a fight stinking of booze? And then boom, Titan's head explodes. And then Apollo, the dangerous kind. And man, that says it all. That had me hooked. It's a page I'm still looking for to this day. Sadly, I don't own the original art to it. I've never seen the original art or heard where it is. It's got the whole team. Apollo out of nowhere blows to the guy's head. Drawing wise, especially in these issues with Titan, quietly just can show space and volume so well. And Titan was so big and just towering over the city when he was walking. He reached up and grabbed a plane and brought it down. And then I think they got the baby Jenny Quantum at the time. And she sparks up and blows his legs off. That's why his legs are missing there. But you can see, like, the doctor is just melting somebody in panel one. Uh, you can see Midnighter grabbing that arrow that's being shot at him. It's just super cool. Even that guy with the gun that's shooting up at Swift is just super awesome. And then for him to fly through his head is just like, superheroes kill people? What? Like, what? Like, this is insane. And like, you can see like the way he's rocked back where his head's like, and his legs are coming off the ground. That type of motion from Quietly, that type of panel to panel movement and character work, that makes me want to turn the page, right? Whereas the Jim Lee looks perfect, looks awesome, looks great on the t-shirt, that felt like it was a disconnect for me when I was first reading. But when I read this, I was like, how do you not turn the page? I want to see the next thing, And it was just, it delivered for me in such a big way. So it's got nostalgia. It's got my art hero, why I draw a lot like Quietly in a very Kmart way, very knockoff way, dollar store way. But it's also comics that you can read. I would say read on the toilet, right? Like I can hand this to anyone, and I don't need like I love Grant Morrison when he collaborates with Quietly, but you got to have Wikipedia open half the time to get his genius. Like with Kirkman or Mark Millar, whatever you want to call him, those books you can just read like an action movie, and I love action movies. So this had everything for me. It had me hooked instantly, and I can't say enough about it. That run. And I know in retrospect, yeah, Watchmen came 20 years before. I don't care, man. This was my thing.
Great. Thanks, Nick.